I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
Probably really smart, actually, because I write such long.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
It is the Saturday Scramble, the Jesse Nelson edition.
Hey!
Pablo Iglesias is on assignment. So you've got me, Alex Cravat, hold it down, Riley out, keeping us sounding good, and Jesse Nelson joining us. Jesse, how you doing today?
I love being here. Thank you so much for having me today in for Pablo and I spent a lot of time together earlier this week, so I'm glad I'm with you and not with him. We've kind of ran our quota out from our road trip down to our alma mater, Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. I love doing Saturday morning shows. This is a fun spot. Just driving in today down East Wash, farmers market going on outside, spring in the air, Bucks playoffs coming up this afternoon here on 100.5 ESPN. You just see all the people out and about on an Easter weekend. What a fun time to share with you guys and to just be a part of the Wisconsin sports scene. What a week we've got in store.
It's interesting you bring that up. I was thinking about it, and I realized as my girlfriend is off visiting family, and I didn't want to skip this show because I'm a dedicated employee. I'm a company man. This is like the first time I've ever had an Easter completely alone. You got any big Easter plans?
Yeah, we're actually, so after the show today, my wife's actually upset that I'm here until 11:30 with you today, but after we're done today, we're heading down and we're going to go see my family for a little bit. It's weird. So our large Nelson family has, over time, like all, my mom is from a family of 10. And so all the original siblings, right, they've all kind of got their own descendants now. You've got the expanded families, and their kids are married, and then they have kids in many cases. And so the family's gotten almost too large to all get together for any of the major holidays outside of, like, Christmas. So we're going, and all the cousins are getting together today over at my cousin Scott's
house.
house.
When you mention family of 10,
yes.
Is that siblings?
Yes, my mom had 9 brothers and sisters growing up, yes.
And you ended up an only child?
Yes.
Okay.
My dad was from a family of 6, my mom from a family of 10, and I was the only one. So I guess they both were tired of having a bunch of kids running around when they were growing up. Yeah.
Riley Yauk, what is your family size?
Yeah, so I have 6 siblings.
Jeez.
So I can relate to your mother.
So it always made for an interesting Easter dynamic. So we're getting together with the cousins today. We have there's one kid, and even she's in like 5th grade now. So like even she's getting a little bit older. So we don't have the kids to do like the fun Easter egg hunts. Like when I was a kid, we always had the Easter baskets. The Easter rabbit would always come while we were at church on Sunday morning, Easter morning, and then we'd go find the Easter baskets when we got home, and that was our little family tradition. The Easter egg hunt was never one of the core things that were part of our Nelson Easter, because kids were always different ages, and we didn't know like how to do it at some of the houses with all the different, like there were so many kids at a time, and then there were not enough kids at a time. Like it was always discombobulated, I guess is a good word to describe it. So when we've gone to Becca's family, my wife Becca's family's Easter, which we're going to do tomorrow, it's very structured. Like this is what we do for the Easter egg hunt, and all the kids have fun, and that's become a part of the tradition. But I've always wondered what's the best way to do that, because it was never something that was so significantly part of the Easter celebrations for me growing up.
That's so interesting you mentioned, because Easter egg hunts were huge for me because I learned at a very early age that I was going to be getting these eggs that I helped create. And I loved creating the eggs. So Mom and I would hard boil them, and then I'd get to color them.
Oh, you do Easter eggs with real eggs?
With real eggs we would do growing up.
What?
Yeah, 100%. And my mom loved boiled eggs.
What if you don't find them?
Because, well, but like that way it's a 2-day ceremony, right? You get to create the eggs. You get
2-day-old eggs?
Well, no, it's what you make them on Saturday
delicious.
night, and then you hide them on Sunday.
We've done like the dyeing the eggs. You do that like on Friday or Saturday, and then you put them in the basket was what I always did. We never hid them anywhere.
So what, you would like, that was part of your Easter egg, or your Easter basket was hard-boiled eggs?
Yeah.
As a kid?
Yes,
That makes a lot of
I
sense.
didn't like eggs, so
Yeah.
that, like all I knew about eggs was you colored them either like Friday or Saturday, and then you kind of left them out, and the Easter Bunny would come by, and he would pick up the eggs, and then he'd put them in the baskets, and he'd help hide the baskets, and that was the game that we played.
Okay, so your family hid the basket.
No, the Easter Bunny did. When the Easter Bunny would come
right.
Saturday night into Sunday. Yeah.
So
Riley knows. The Easter Bunny came to Riley's
course.
house for sure. Yeah.
The Easter Bunny just left the basket out for me. I knew like the basket was often like because the basket is like a vessel. Oftentimes my basket would be like a backpack or a new little like tote for my toys. But then I would have to find the eggs, and the eggs were the ones that we created. And I
The
loved
eggs
it.
were separate from the little tote
100%,
bag, the Easter
yes.
tote bag
The
that
Easter-
the bunny provided.
the canvas, the burlap
for that
sack
household.
that
Okay.
I would get for my groceries and
I
whatnot.
appreciate the Easter Bunny having different approaches to different homes around the country. That's awesome that he mixes it up a little, keeps it interesting for himself.
But so you didn't get to do the Easter egg hunt.
We had it now and then, but we had different evolutions of the Easter egg hunt. So at times it was just a free for all. Okay, everybody go find them, and some of them have jelly. They're all the plastic and not the real eggs like the weirdos did.
We did
with real eggs.
sometimes, but no, it was primarily the real eggs.
You hide the plastic eggs, and you got candy in them.
Quarters.
Or the big $10 bill is the big like holy smokes, big winner got the $10 bill. And then some kids start crying when they don't find the $10 bill. Like that was always a disaster. But so we've done different iterations of
$20 bill now with inflation.
We've done the free for all where there's 30 eggs out in the yard, go get them, and all the cousins would go scramble and try to find them. We've done assigned eggs where everybody has 2 with their initials on them, and so you have to go around and find them. It's a race to find your 2 eggs. So you might find a pink one under the bush on the side of the house, but that has CS on it. Oh, that's not mine. That's Cassie's, and I got to go find
You
another
ever
one.
hide Cassie's in a harder spot?
No, good. That would have been a good approach, though. But you're too worried about finding your own. So we've had different iterations of it, but I guess I haven't ever settled on what's the actual best way to do the Easter egg hunt. And so yesterday on Wilde and Tausch, very well produced show, weekdays 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Yeah, I hear Riley fills in a lot. Must be great.
He did, especially earlier this week. It's true. It's fine when he's on.
Peoria, Illinois is calling.
When I asked Tausch and Jason yesterday, like, what's the best way to do the Easter egg hunt? And Tausch said his brother does the Easter egg hunt for their family every year, and he organizes this thing, and there's a $20 bill in the big egg at the end, and it's awesome, and he's all about the Easter egg hunt. So I'm wondering now, as Jason's I think is going to schedule, or he's going to join us a little bit later in the show, but I'm kind of asking everybody, surveying the land, what's the best way to do an Easter egg hunt, because this is something I want to take a little more ownership of, as Beck and I will grow a family at some point. I want to make sure we're doing this the right way.
So I love puzzles and games, board games. In fact, the Bucks are playing right after this. I'm going over to a friend's house to watch the Bucks game and play board games. I love a good brain tease. And so my mom learned that early about me, and she would coordinate with the Easter Bunny, and they would put together a scavenger hunt that wasn't just based on find the eggs. I would get clues and hints about hard spots to find them.
The Easter Bunny was like putting a national treasure
100%.
book of secrets deal together for you.
100%.
That sounds fun.
So it was great. And especially because I was an only child, right? Like no one else is going to mess with it. I just got to go and find the clue, and then it might end up getting me to another clue, or I might end up have to make breakfast in order to
clue,
find
Ben.
one. Well, yeah, but it's puzzles. It's putting it together. There's pieces and moving parts. The other thing is, you mentioned earlier that because all of the kids are different ages, your family struggled to figure out, your mom's side of the family struggled to figure out exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
It's the perfect thing to do with kids of all ages, because you got 17-year-old cousin Brian over there who's like, I'm smarter and better than all of the other kids at this. I'm going to find the eggs and just kind of stand over by him and be
got
like,
some
hey.
vitriol against cousin Brian?
No,
from
no,
back
no,
in
no,
the
he was
day?
great. He was
Sounds
great.
like we got some things to uncover there.
Because, if there's one up in the tree, hey, we're not even doing Boom or Doom today. I was hoping to have a distinguished conversation about the Easter Bunny today, Riley.
Is cousin Brian scheduled to appear after Wilde? Talk some things out?
Hotkeys are part of the show now, G. You're going to have to learn to live with them.
But like Brian, he was tall. He'd help me get the one in the tree or whatever.
Oh, he was a good guy.
He was a good guy,
that's
but
good.
he played it off. He was like, I'm cool, and I know I'm not $10 isn't that important to me. Like, I don't have to find the $10 egg. I'm going to help little Alex figure it out. That's my cousin Brian voice.
It's a good voice.
844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and text line. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Jesse Nelson, and we're asking you, what's the best way to do an Easter egg hunt? Or do you like Easter egg hunts at a certain level? Because I love them. They were an important part of this to me. My girlfriend still, her family will send over like a little Easter basket. The Easter bunny has a hard time finding our apartment.
Yeah, but apartments are tough for the bunny.
But so, she was feeling a little homesick last year. We put together a Easter egg hunt for her. Like it continues to be a big part of what we do in my makeshift family at this point. And I think that Easter egg hunts, fun, easy, lovable.
I can never tell, and maybe I'll get better at this when we have kids of our own. I can never tell what's too difficult and what's too easy for the kids. Because I've gone and helped hide the eggs sometimes, and we get together with our larger family. I kind of aged out of the Easter egg hunt for a portion of time. So I got to be the helper hiding the eggs. And there were a couple that I would hide like in the wood pile where you have like all the wood for having a fire. Like, the kids aren't going to look there. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? Just set it in the middle of the yard? Well, yeah, like that's where the 3-year-old's going to look. I'm like, no, the 3-year-old's not going to just look in the middle. You got to put it behind or in something. So, that's one of the other difficulties I had with the Easter egg hunt. I never felt like it was a proper challenge. Maybe the series of clues would have been a better way for the bunny to go when he was hiding them for me.
Right, because then, you're also practicing reading skills, things like that. There's a whole lot. Riley Yauk, behind the glass, do you have any Easter egg hunt stories? Or how did you do them?
Yeah, so when I was a child, obviously there are lots of us, so we'd get together with my cousins.
Family, right?
Yeah, we got together with all the cousins. We'd do the Easter egg hunt. Used to be at my grandma's house. Now, for the past many years, it's been at our house. Even if we're eating dinner at my cousin's house up the street, we'd come do the Easter egg hunt at my house because we have a huge yard. Like a giant field is attached to our house.
Wow, cool.
So, yeah.
A big yard, right?
Yeah, what can I say? But as I graduated out of looking for the eggs, now me and my other siblings who don't search, we hide them now. And I think it's a way for the parents to get out of a little bit of work as well. But I have found it very gratifying hiding the eggs because now all my little cousins and little siblings have to search, and then everyone takes pride in the fact like, oh, no one could find my egg, or...
So you're gatekeeping the fun now? Like
no,
that's how
we're
it works?
giving them a challenge.
No,
You're wondering how to give them a challenge.
This is why I'm kind of anti-Easter egg hunt, I think I'm learning from all this discussion.
What?
Because when you do that, and then the kids can't, and little McKenna's crying in the corner, I can't find my egg.
No.
And you're like, well, sorry, McKenna, try harder. And then you're like, and then there's a big fight. Then the adults are like, it's taking too long. We got to get dessert out for Easter. Like, I don't want to get dessert.
No, there are
Make
levels.
them earn the Easter egg.
There are levels to this. You hide some out for the little babies or the toddlers right out in the open.
But yeah, then
super
13-year-old Joshua just snags them all because he's
that's why
got
you
long
gotta
legs.
tell them to not get those.
The babies and the toddlers aren't even finding their own eggs. Mommy and Daddy are walking them around the yard finding the eggs, or cousin Brian is helping G go up in a tree and get it.
That's family bonding.
Yeah,
Jesse.
sure, but then where's the challenge if you're just asking someone else to get it for you?
That's when the 13-year-old, that's why you give the older kids a challenge.
Make a scavenger hunt. Make them read and put together puzzles.
I'm out on the Easter egg hunt. I've decided. I'm out on it. It's too difficult to try and satisfy everybody.
Well,
with these
Riley
things.
and I are going to continue to be happy with it.
Yeah, I will 100% continue doing an Easter egg
I think,
hunt.
I love my tiers. One of my favorite things to do is tiering friends and power rankings. I think you need to tier Easter egg hunts. I think you need to have the JV Easter egg hunt where the kids that are 5 and under get to grab a partner, mommy, daddy, cousin Brian, or whoever, and they get to go around the yard, and it's a different format than maybe that's the freshman Easter egg hunt, and then 5 to 12 is the JV Easter egg hunt, and that's a little bit of a challenge, but not too. And then you get the 12 and up, which even the adults who want to participate, then we can say, okay, there's $50 out there, go get it, and then you can wrestle each other for it and whatnot like that. Yeah, I think we got to have different degrees of Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, but I think you got to as a family person, right? You got to know the clientele that are involved. You got to be aware of who you're with, and and create something. And maybe you can do that with, okay, if you're going to use the plastic eggs, reusable, you could put the $50 bill, you could put the $10 bill, you can put the quarters and the Kit Kat bar or whatever it is, and you could put all the pink ones out for the kids. That's your freshman level. Green is for JV, and then you got like the shiny silvers and golds.
You could color coordinate. This is also starting to get to be a lot of work for either the bunny or whoever's hiding these things to color coordinate based on what league you're in for the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult. One last thing on the eggs before we move on, or I don't know if this will become a recurring theme of the show or not. Tausch yesterday, when we were talking about this, he said, you know what you should do? He actually wanted me to recruit me before I think he ended up recruiting his mom to do this job. Go down to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, one of the great partners of ESPN Madison, presenting partner of Brewers baseball coming up later today, and get 3 bet slips. One on the Cavs, one on the Lakers, and one on the Bucks to win the NBA Finals. And he wanted to put those in the Easter eggs so he could teach the kids of the family about sports betting and math.
That's awesome.
That's
why he's the ideas man.
In poor taste or not,
No,
for
you
the
gotta
Tauschers
start
to have
'em early.
bet slips in the Easter eggs.
You got to start them early. That's worthwhile. Another thing, around this time of year, we try and figure out how we're going to order our fantasy dynasty draft. I think an adult Easter egg hunt for the first overall pick, would be excellent.
Everybody goes and grabs one egg, and you open it up. Oh, I got 7. Dang it.
Or maybe you have you coordinate with the Easter Bunny, the master of all things Easter. You could coordinate and maybe find a way to be like, all right, the hardest hidden egg is golden. And in that is the first overall pick. You have like a minute. The first egg you find is the one you get. Everything else is, a different color. But that way you get the one, and then everyone, once you find it, gets it. And if you don't find the first overall pick, then
Yeah, see, this is getting too complicated. This is the problem with Easter egg hunts. You either do it too easy or too hard. There's no middle ground. This is what's tough about them.
There's definitely a middle ground.
There's no middle ground in second take, which we're going to do next. But 844-770-3776, text in. Let us know what your plans are for the Easter egg hunt. And if you agree with Jesse that they're not good.
I'm out.
Or if you agree with me that they're a very instant classic family bonding technique. This is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Wisconsin.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the Madison area. And there's a new Verona TAP facility open inside of the Verona Athletic Center. Summer speed, agility, and semi-private options are now available at both Verona and Windsor locations, and now offering monthly subscription payment options. Plus, you can download the new Total Athlete Performance app for remote training options all year round. Visit tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
With head coach Matt LaFleur's first season in the books, Green Bay's championship window was wide open. However, on draft night 2020, they found themselves in a situation similar to 2005 and decided to go bold.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Just like Rodgers after Brett Favre, Love would take over as the starting quarterback in his 4th NFL season, earning himself a huge deal as the face of the franchise following a breakout playoff performance.
Love zips it in there, and it's caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs. And the route is on in Dallas. Wow.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. It's NBA playoffs time. This week, Marcus and Chris give a playoff preview on the pod. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The NFL draft is just around the corner. It feels like we've been talking about it for months, and it's right there.
But we've literally been talking about it for years.
I guess.
Once it was announced it was coming to Green Bay, like, this is the one that's been on the calendar for years in the state of Wisconsin.
I'm excited. This is the Saturday Scramble. I'm Alex Red alongside Jesse Nelson, who's in for Pablo Iglesias today. We were talking a little bit about Easter eggs, and there might be an Easter egg. You know, do you know how they call Easter eggs, like little things that you find along the road? Like Taylor Swift is the queen of the Easter egg. All of her songs have an Easter egg. All of her social media posts have an Easter egg. I wonder if we have any Easter eggs from Goody about who's going to get drafted.
Doubtful.
But Mike Moran in the YouTube comments agrees with me that it's a fantastic time. You got to use real eggs when you're making your Easter eggs for the hunt. And then you'd open them up, and coloring was the best part. It's a good time.
So you boil the eggs.
Yep.
You
dye them.
Dye the eggs.
But
which also is a tedious thing. Like, when you're a kid, it's always a great idea to color the eggs, and then you get all the glasses out on the table, and then you got to sit there and hold it for like 15 minutes. Like, I'm over that very quickly. And then Mom just ends up doing it, sitting there like, you're doing a great job. I'm in the living room watching the Bucks game. Like, yeah, okay, great. Good job. Look at the egg I made.
I like that you got to like create designs with the crayons that wouldn't get stained.
That never works.
It did work. Oh my God. You're just bad at it. Are you an arts and crafts guy?
No.
Well,
I mean, I like drawing, but the egg it never worked. Like, you try to write on them, and you're like, I always was embarrassed by what my hand. I got my writer's license in 2nd grade for having.
I don't know what that is.
It was
impressive,
like a driver's license thing that they gave you for having exceptional handwriting. I was very proud when I got the writer's license.
After the 2nd year of learning cursive, in 3rd grade, my 3rd grade teacher just excused me from the rest of cursive class because it was so illegible. She was just like, you know what? Just go play outside. All right, let's play let's play Second Take.
You heard it first.
It doesn't matter. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Lakers in 5 now, Chris.
Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. I want Iguodala.
What is that? I love it. Oh, my gosh.
But now it's our turn. This is Second Take on Saturday Scramble.
I was the child left behind in cursive writing class.
All I wanted to say was it was hard to write on the eggs, and I couldn't write my name the right way, and I felt bad when the bunny would see how bad my handwriting was.
Riley, did you have to take cursive?
I did. I still sign my name in full cursive.
Yeah, I sign in cursive. That's the only time I ever use cursive.
Oh, illegible. I get to sign signatures actually relatively frequently for the Madison Radicals. The kids come out on the field afterwards, and I'm embarrassed Like, these 3-year-olds could do it better than me.
So how does the second take game work?
Well, Second Take, you've heard of First Take. It's an ESPN classic. And what we do on Second Take here on Saturday Scramble is we find all of the best takes from throughout the week, and we put them together, and then we blind rank the top 3 takes.
No, I hate blind rankings.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate this game.
Riley, take it away.
All right, so this is the Packers potential draft pick edition. We've had NFL draft experts from across the country phone in on our shows and talk to our respective hosts. So I figured we'd have one clip from each of them, starting with everyone's favorite Mel Kiper Jr., talking about Mykel Williams.
I do think defensive tackle in particular is good. Edge rushers, it's kind of, some people are high on some, a little excited about others, and down on some. So Mykel Williams is who I gave the Packers in the first round, had the ankle injury, and that prevented him from having the year expected, but he played through that injury. He didn't shut it down like a lot of guys do these days when they get hurt, just preparing for the NFL draft, getting healthy. So I give Mykel Williams a lot of credit. He didn't test great, but like I said, I would have loved to have seen him at 100% all year, and he still produced some disruptive plays and some hurries and sacks off the edge. So I debated him or Maxwell Hairston, the corner from Kentucky.
So that's Mel Kiper saying that the Packers are going to draft Mykel Williams?
Yes. Yeah, that's who he put in his final mock.
A final mock. Wow, there's so many days left before the draft. There's 4. I expected him to put one more together.
Mel's got to get to Green Bay.
It's a long flight.
Essentially, each of these clips have the Packers selecting one player. So you got a blind rank.
Oh, my gosh.
Who should the Packers pick, starting with Mykel Williams?
I've heard a lot of really good things about him. I didn't watch a ton of Georgia football this year, but I think that would be an excellent pick. Do you want to get better in the defensive line? So I'll go 2. I imagine there's someone better and someone worse.
I'm going to put this number 1.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be the pick. Mel is on his stuff. And when you look at Goody's history of drafting Georgia defensive players, Mykel Williams fits that mold. Potential value pick because he did play banged up last year. So had he been healthy all season, probably would have been projected in like the 10 to 15 range. Because he's been banged up, drops a little bit in stock. Goody's going to see good value and just fits the mold of what he's traditionally done in the last 5 or 6 years as the Packers general manager. I think this is going to be the pick, and I'm going to say Mel's right on, and this is number 1 in the rankings for me.
All right. Well, Matt Miller, ESPN NFL draft analyst, thought the Packers could maybe do something they haven't done in a long time and draft a receiver in the first round.
I don't hear a consensus from teams on love for him. That said, it only takes one team, just like with Michael Penix Jr. last year. No one had him going 8 until the Falcons took him at 8. So with McMillan, he could go 6 to the Raiders, and you would understand it, right? You would say, okay, they don't have a receiver. They need one for Geno Smith. But it's also possible that he gets through the teens, and maybe someone like Matthew Golden from Texas jumps him, maybe Luther Burden from Missouri, Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State, to where he could actually somewhat realistically be there at 23.
I'm not convinced he's going to drop all the way down, so I don't think that's going to happen. And even if he did, I just don't think that what he is good enough, specifically from what I hear, some off-the-field questions on whether he really likes football that much, which is a wild thing considering he's a first-round pick. But I don't think that he's going to change the dynamic of the wide receiver room enough, and I think that Goody's probably of that same ilk. So I'm going to put that at 3. I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't know if it would be the smartest choice.
I'm putting that last as well. Let me make this easy for everybody. Packers aren't drafting a wide receiver in the first round of the NFL draft this year. Don't get your hopes up. Don't do this because this is going to be just like Cooper DeJean last year and like, was it Rondell Moore a couple of years ago, where there's players whose names pop up throughout the projections and the weeks leading up to the draft, and we get to the Packers pick in the early 20s, and they're all there, and everybody's sitting on their couches at home, and you get a little antsy, a little jittery, and you're like, ooh, they're going to pick a receiver. They're going to pick Cooper DeJean. I've heard of that guy. I can't believe it. They're actually going to do it. And then Jordan Morgan is the pick, and everyone says, who the hell is that? because that's how this works with Goody as the general manager. Outside of Jordan Love, every other time, there's guys on the board you've heard of who would be the sexy, fun pick that we've heard of and we've talked about.
But even at that time,
skill position players, and it doesn't happen. They're not picking a wide receiver in the first round this year. No chance.
And you mentioned Jordan Love. Like, even at the time, that was not a sexy pick. We had a guy who was going to go win 2 more MVPs before he left.
No chance it's a wide receiver this year. I'm going to stand by it.
All right, well, you may have heard at the end of that Mel Kiper Jr. clip a certain cornerback from Kentucky being selected. Here's Field Yates.
Jeff Hasley, I don't think at his roots wants to have a defense that plays zone coverage on 70.2% of its snaps like they did last year. I thought that last year, maybe it's, I don't know which side's the chicken, which side's the egg, whether you want to call it the pass rush wasn't good enough, so it's going to leave the corners in compromising positions, or they just didn't have the corners to play man coverage last year. But I think they want to find a way to make that number between man and zone a whole lot more balanced. And certainly Nate Hobbs goes a long way in helping out the secondary, but I think you need at least another corner in this class, and then you got to find some edge rushers as well. So that's why I think Harrison makes a lot of sense for Green Bay at number 23. It's kind of in the right range of where I have him on the big board, too.
All right, well, that's my number 1 because it's all that's left for me. I tend to agree with Mike Moran in the YouTube comment. Convinced that we're taking Shamir Stewart.
Yeah, it's the dude with the incredibly high RAS score.
Yep.
We've talked about him on Wilde and Tausch quite a bit, and I think our other shows have as well. I hate blind rankings. I think the premise is stupid, but I think I got this one right. I think Mel Kiper's the most spot on, an edge rusher, Mykel Williams, a value pick from Georgia. I think Field Yates is right. Corner is definitely a position that the Packers are going to want to address, but I think that's probably a day 2 thing unless there's a run of edge rushers in the first round, because it's kind of a weird draft. And if there's a great best player available as a corner in the first round, I think that's where he would go. And I think you look to add a receiver maybe late day 2 or sometime on day 3, because the receivers are pretty much set in place for what the Packers are going to be doing offensively. I think everybody, obviously Christian Watson's out with that injury, and he might be out for a large chunk, if not the entirety of the season. So that's something you might want to address. But still, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. There's 5 good options for pass catchers in addition to the guys in the backfield. You don't need to address that more than any of these other positions. If I know that, Goody knows that. Not going to be a receiver on day 1.
Don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but what is better on the Packers roster? Their wide receivers or the defensive linemen?
Well, Mike Tannenbaum joined us on Wilde and Tausch this week, and he said that he says not many teams would take any receiving core over what the Green Bay Packers have, which I think is nuts. But Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager in the league, knows a thing or two more about football than I do. What was the question again?
What's better, the Packers wide receivers or defensive line?
I think the ceiling is higher for the wide receivers. But right now, grading on performance, the defensive line is better because Kenny Clark has a better overall resume for his career, even though it's still been a little underwhelming in recent years. He still has a better overall resume than Romeo Doubs does as the best receiver. So I would say, is that a fair assessment of that situation? It's kind of hedgy. I've been around Wilde too much.
I was going to say, and Wilde's scheduled to appear next, correct?
He is, as far as I know.
We'll find out what he thinks next. It is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Wisconsin.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, pump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swinging a fly ball to left. It is back to the wall. Gone! Churio, a grand slam.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Hi, I'm Samuel L. Jackson. When the UNCF, the United Negro College Fund, was founded 80 years ago, they hoped that they could change this nation for the better, and they have. As a proud alum of an HBCU, Morehouse College, I'm an advocate for HBCU. I support the work that UNCF does for students of color, scholarship, and internship for 50,000 deserving students each year. Visit uncf.org today, and remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
I need some good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil ain't walking my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely.
Saturday Scramble rolls right along with Jesse Nelson in for Pablo Iglesias. I'm Alex Gravatt. Riley out keeping us sounding good behind the glass. And, of course, we are joined now by Mr. Jason Wilde. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm great. Did Jesse just leave Pablo in Peoria, Illinois, and decide he wanted to make sure everybody thought he was the big deal from Bradley University and brag about it while Pablo was left behind? Or how did this play out?
Kind of ironic that Pablo wasn't invited in this Saturday after there was speculation I wasn't invited to be on that panel with him earlier this week, huh?
Oh, that wasn't speculation. Those were facts.
I mean, Jesse's name was misspelled. Pablo was getting all the emails.
Yeah.
They might have tried to keep him. He might be an adjunct professor by now.
Nice. That's a pretty good line. And by the way, thanks for the nice note. I have not had a chance to respond to you, Alex, but I appreciated that as well. I don't want you to think that I didn't. Jesse, how did they misspell your name? With an I at the end?
Yeah, they put an I. They put an I in it. Yeah.
Jessi?
SSIE is what they went with, which is a personal pet peeve of mine over time. Also, Jason, you know Nelson is not my actual last name, so they were confused on the record of me being an alum in the first place. Like, what year did you graduate? So there was all kind of I might be a brand new person reinvented to them. So
No wonder you didn't get any of the emails.
Definitely there was some stuff going on there, but I was very excited this morning. I was updating my LinkedIn profile because I have not
looking for a new job.
I've not. Well, no, I've not. Well, that did come out poorly, didn't it? I probably should. No, I realized I have not been up to speed on LinkedIn. I should have taken Jason's advice from years ago and been more active there to be able to connect with people, and especially some of the young students that we met at Bradley, and they wanted to connect there. I thought I should be more active here. So I was updating some stuff there, connected with some professors, and Jason, I guess you're going to be next. I'll have to add you on LinkedIn, and we'll get Wilde and Tausch live streaming there weekdays from 9 to noon.
You two aren't connected on LinkedIn?
I'm connected with like 3 people until today.
Jesse.
Like, I'm not up to with the times, yo.
Yeah, I'll say this about LinkedIn. And again, Gravatt always likes my posts and my stories. He's that supportive. He and Chad Hopper are super supportive. That pretty much ends the list on LinkedIn. But I to this point, I have accepted every invite to connect from everyone who's ever invited me on LinkedIn.
No.
Yes. But now I might have to reconsider, and I'll have to really think long and hard when you send me one.
That's mean.
I had to do the same thing when Ben Brust added me. He did it. He did it a couple days after I got cleared to be an on-air producer, and he spent the entirety of the 5 o'clock hour of the show that he used to be a part of, Scalzo and Brust, hitting on my mom. So that I had
what?
to. Yes, my first day where my voice was allowed to be on ESPN radio. He started talking because one of those few things is.
Oh my God.
The very first thing was I had a friend call in from high school who was like, "Is that Alex Gravatt from Plymouth High?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so they thought it was a plant, and I said the only person I let know I'm watching is my mom. And Brust said, "Sounds hot," and that was the end of it. Or that was just the beginning of it. My mom was on air for 2 full segments.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I did eventually add him back on LinkedIn, but there's just no.
How did LinkedIn get us to this point?
Jason, are you an Easter egg hunt guy?
We need to have a serious conversation with HR.
Yikes.
Yes. I do love a good Easter egg hunt. Now, Tausch's brother is apparently in the Easter egg hunt planning Hall of Fame. We don't go to the lengths that his brother does. I am not a huge fan of the large public Easter egg hunts because the first time we took the girls to one, they were probably 3 and 4 maybe, and there was one egg contained the golden ticket of a bike from Walmart, just put on by one of the local parks and recreation departments, and it was like full contact Easter egg hunting. And when I say that, I'm not just saying the kids, like the parents who were taking their kids out there to search were body checking and elbowing, like elbows up. It was the most ridiculous thing I had ever seen. And Paula and Maddie are like hyper competitive, and Sydney and I are competitive, but not like psychotically. But I had to actually hold Maddie, who I think was 4, and Paula back because they were so pissed that these people were taking it so seriously that they decided they were going to ratchet up their game. I was like, look, we have bikes. We don't need to compete for that one. We're good. Let's just get out of here in one piece without a trip to the emergency room. So not a fan of the public ones, but we'll do one tomorrow, even though the girls are older now. So, yeah, I love a good Easter egg hunt. I hear that there's someone on the panel who does not like them, though.
I've decided, as we talked plenty about it, Jason, yesterday on our show and then also today with Alex G and Riley here, I think I'm anti-Easter egg hunt. It's just
when did we what did we say that made you anti-Easter egg hunt? Doesn't Tausch's version sound like fun?
Kind of.
No.
But the amount of planning
the word you were looking for there was no.
The amount of work that goes into here's the thing about Easter egg hunts. You can't make everyone happy. And if you're going to try and make everyone happy, you need to do like multiple tiers, like freshman JV varsity style Easter egg hunts. And then even then, like you just said, the competition level for the taller or for the taller kids, the older kids, and
tall.
Maybe not me. For the older kids is like then there's you're throwing elbows and it's full contact. It's too easy or it's too hard. The prizes aren't good enough. Some kids are too cool to do it. Like I'm just generally out on trying to make everyone happy with the Easter egg hunt because there's always gripes and complaints about either from the people who are doing it because I complained about it as a kid too. So either your complaints as a kid doing it or your complaints as the organizer or as an adult being part of it. It's just there's too much criticism, drama in the Easter egg hunt. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'll rescind my invitation for you to come to the Wilde family Easter egg hunt where everybody's a winner, but that's fine. I didn't come to your wedding, so you don't have to come to our Easter egg.
Seems like a fair trade. Yeah, that's good. Yep.
If you're doing it, is it real or fake eggs?
Oh, well, with the price of eggs, I mean, come on.
We didn't even address that.
In fact, I believe Paula bought, we do have some real eggs because there are people in our house that like to eat eggs. I'm not really a hard-boiled egg guy, but we do have fake eggs. And then we also, I mean, you don't do an Easter egg hunt with like actual hard-boiled eggs, do you? You got to get the ones that you put goodies in, right? Like little prizes and coins and stuff like that. Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, I'm not saying you're doing it wrong, but part of the fun for me was always getting to decorate the eggs, having a favorite, and then that one maybe being harder to find than the other ones. And then, there's also this like added element of, am I going to lose one of them? Because it was just me and my mom. So it was all on me to make sure all of the eggs were found.
Apparently.
Well, yeah, that was a later addition to the Gravatt family, perhaps.
Okay.
But there's that added element of you lose one, the entire house is going to reek for weeks.
That is a problem. We do ours outside though. Don't you? You did yours inside?
Sometimes, yeah. For just me, yeah. I think that the Easter Bunny needed to warm up its ears, come inside, get maybe some cocoa, because there's a lot of houses that were all outside. At my aunt's house, it was always outside.
Cocoa seems like a different holiday specialty, but we don't have that. Can I ask Jason a football question?
Yeah, sure. My show, I guess.
Jason, I'm gonna ask you something right now that I don't think I've asked you on Wilde and Tausch on the air or during a commercial break in this entire lead up.
Seems like
to the
a missed
NFL
opportunity.
Draft. Are you excited for the draft in Green Bay next week?
No, not necessarily.
Why not?
I mean, look, I've first of all, I think it's obviously it's a really awesome thing, and I'm happy for our tiny little NFL town here to have the opportunity for it. It's great. I want to be very clear that part is fantastic. Now, have I been able to thus far avoid the inconveniences of all the blocked off streets, etc.? I have been, so that's I don't have a bad attitude about those things because I've been able to largely avoid that from impacting my day-to-day operations. But I will be honest. I was talking to some friends of mine who are coming, and I don't know enough about planning major events to know how they come up with like their estimates. But as I've mentioned on our show, the estimate that we've been given by organizers has been that it's going to be 250,000 people over the course of the draft, and that obviously is dwarfed by the number of people that came to, say, Detroit when they had 775,000 last year. And I find myself wondering, have we overestimated how many folks are going to want to come to Green Bay? Like, look, Lambeau Field is historic. There's no doubt about it. If you love the draft, and Lord knows there's a lot of people who really, really love the draft, right? They're checking mock drafts every day. They're totally into it. That's not really my jam. I'm more interested in the players' stories and the things that I learn about different players as I go through my process for my previews. But I'll be honest, there is a part of me that wonders if it's going to be below projections in terms of, Mark Murphy told us that they believe that there'll be $94 million of economic impact in the state as a whole, and roughly 20 million in Green Bay alone. So that doesn't include Appleton, Oshkosh, Fox Cities, etc. And I don't know what to expect. And I'm hoping that I'll be pleasantly surprised. And A, there'll be all kinds of buzz and excitement, and it'll be awesome that way. And B, I won't have trouble getting to the Tundra Trio or getting to the stadium with all the inconveniences of moving around. Because I will say this, that is my, I think it's Goody's concern. I know it was Matt LaFleur's concern too, that, it does make it a little more difficult to do what we would normally do for a draft that isn't in our town.
Have you gone to a draft live before?
No, I have never been to a draft. I mean, it was always in New York, and what folks don't understand, and I don't love telling people how my job works because I think it's kind of boring to get into the process of it. But like the draft could be in New York, could be in Chicago, it could be in Green Bay, it could be on the moon. And I get friends that still to this day ask me, "Oh, you going to the draft?" Not when it's in Green Bay, but when it's in other cities. "Oh, yeah, you going to Nashville?" No, because everything happens in Lambeau Field. Like the draft room is there. We do Zoom calls or conference calls with the draft picks over the phone or over video there. Brian Gutekunst comes down after every day of the draft and talks to us there. So it's the same process no matter where the actual draft is being held. And I just, sometimes folks don't understand that, which is fine. Again, I don't think you should care how my job works, but it's no different now because it's in Green Bay. It just doesn't change the actual, day-to-day operations of doing it. We got some cool stuff planned at the Tundra Trio. I'm super excited about that. But from a perspective of the inconveniences of getting in and out of the stadium and all that kind of stuff, yeah, no, I'm not super excited about that part of it.
Those who do want to know how your job works can find you on LinkedIn, though, right? Except for me.
Well, yeah, I'll be happy to accept your invitation as long as your name's not Jesse, whatever you're. So do you here?
Oh God!
I know we're trying to talk football, but I do need to understand this. So I thought Jesse Nelson was essentially a stage name, right? Like Lady Gaga or Prince, right?
Up to
very
that level,
similar.
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And instead, so are you telling me that you go about your entire life as Jesse Nelson, like that you don't use and again, I don't want to violate any privilege, even though I know what your actual last name is. So like, do you go about your daily life as Jesse Nelson? Is that what it says on your credit card? Is that what it says on your driver's license? Like, help me understand, because I never even considered the idea of changing my name, and I find this very interesting.
So the answer in brief is no. Anything public facing, whether that's, speaking with students at Bradley, being on the radio or whatnot, social media, I've always put Jesse Nelson on all of that because that's what the majority of people know me by, including a bunch of my friends that I went to high school with. Now they've just kind of, that's Jesse Nelson, even though they know what my real last name is. What makes this easy for me is that Nelson is my middle name legally. And so if I have like checks that are written to me, or if I need to show identification at a hotel, it's all accepted because that is on my driver's license with my name. And I probably should stop saying anything more about that on a public forum so that identity theft doesn't become a real issue for me.
If you'd like to steal Jesse's identity,
what's your mother's maiden name?
And my first pet's name was.
All right. Well, we don't have to go further into that, but the reason I actually did have a reason for asking, and it's this: to get credentialed for the draft. I thought I was going to have to submit like a blood sample. Like it was so expensive because the league handles it. So obviously, I've obviously worked at Lambeau Field for a long time, so everybody knows who I am. But the NFL is in charge of the credentialing, so like I had to fill out just all kinds of forms and stuff, and it did make me think, I don't like to admit that I think of you when I'm not on the show, but it made me wonder, what would Jesse Nelson do? Which I think is something that we should all think about in our day-to-day lives, because it would be a good guide for, making the wrong decisions. What would Jesse Nelson do? And then I'll do the opposite.
Find a way to get out of work, which is staying back in Madison outside of Thursday morning when I'm coming to help you guys get set up for the first show.
You think they would credential me under the name G, just the letter?
No.
Well, I'm not asking you, Jason.
I mean, if you made it into a symbol, the aforementioned Prince, when he went to the symbol for a while, I think you'd get a better chance that way. Because look, you are a unique cat. Like I am. I do feel a little. I don't use Facebook a lot, but it's interesting. I keep the first suggestion of who to be a friend of is you.
And you haven't.
And Well, I don't want to. I don't want to seem too desperate. I usually try to wait for other people.
He
to
wants
ask
you
me
to
be
add
there.
him.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be loved.
True. That's true. Anyway, did you have any other football questions, or can I let you guys go?
I think we'll take our leave here. Both Jesse and I wondering if we'll ever fully be connected on social media. Do you have a MySpace? Could either of us finish in the top? Was it 6 of your MySpace?
I wish there was a way to get to those, because I had some really good music that I had used on that page. That's a really good. I hadn't even thought about MySpace in a long time. See, what a way to end this segment. What a great little cultural reference. G money.
All right, Jason. Thanks so much. Have fun. Get ready for the draft. All that good stuff.
All right, I'll have to friend you on Facebook now that I've outed myself. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That was Jason Wilde joining us from his from Lambeau Field adjacent areas as he navigates the horrible world that is Lambeau Field's version of the NFL draft.
Are you excited for the draft in Green Bay? Like you and Pablo are going to be there next Saturday. You're hosting one of our big shows as part of our draft coverage. Are you excited to be in the nest of the NFL draft?
I'm really excited, but the thing is I'm not going to go into the actual draft, I don't think, which is kind of a bummer.
But you're going to be like right there. You're right next to, like, you're going to experience the entire thing.
That I am excited for. I'm really excited to do a show live from the shadow of Lambeau Field, as Alex Struff usually likes to say. But we got to get out of here. We got Gabe Neitzel coming up. The Bucks are playing in a half an hour. There's all sorts of good stuff going on. Don't go anywhere. It is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
It's time for spring savings at Metro Kia Madison this month. Drive away in the 2025 Kia K4 with financing as low as 2.9% for 48 months, $22.09 cost per thousand borrowed. Or you can upgrade to the luxurious 2025 Kia Sportage with rates as low as 1.9% for 60 months, $17.48 cost per thousand. Hurry, these offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Kia Madison or visit metrokiamadison.com today.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance, world-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents the Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Jason Wilde, not excited for the NFL draft in Green Bay. I, on the other hand, pretty excited. Jesse Nelson, not excited for Easter egg hunts. I, on the other hand, pretty excited.
You're just an excitable guy.
Turns out, I just really like things. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. The Carbless Talk and Text line list is more.
So, are you excited for the Milwaukee Bucks beginning their postseason run this afternoon? 1 hour from right now.
I am thrilled, actually. So here's the thing. I'm a fan of the Bucks. You can see on YouTube right now. You can check out the stream. I am wearing my favorite Bucks gear. I went to a game 2 weeks ago. It was super fun to watch. Giannis is just so awesome and incredible. I didn't realize how big his hands were. I knew he had big hands, but they have like the thing out in the hallway where you get to put your hands up against everyone. I have big hands. I do. They're like very large palms, good for high fives and clapping. And cool. And it's not even remotely close. His hands are like the size of my freaking torso.
Your takeaway from the Bucks game a couple weeks ago was Giannis is great and he has large hands.
Yeah. Have you seen him get a rebound with one hand? It's nuts.
I mean, have you watched like the NBA? Everybody's large.
Everyone's large, but you've got guys on the field or on the court like Brook Lopez, who's taller than Giannis, hands notably smaller than Giannis. His hands are shockingly large.
And this is what excites you about Bucks Pacers coming up at noon here on Madison's home of the Bucks.
I'm just trying to say but the thing is I don't watch every game. I'm a bit of a box score hero. I like to watch games as much as I can, but sometimes I want to watch the Badgers or Elfie, my girlfriend, diehard Duke fan. We got to watch the Duke game. So I don't get to watch every game. But during the playoffs, I'm going to be locked in.
So this is like a different season starting to you. Like this
100%.
Is the start of the Bucks' real run for this season for you. You got a little preseason taste going and measuring your hand against Giannis's a couple of weeks ago, and now you're excited to watch them play the Pacers. It's like opening day today.
Yeah, and I don't like the argument that, the regular season doesn't matter and no one really tries, but also, their bodies wouldn't hold up if they tried all out all season long. No one's would. That's too much action. But there's also a little validity to it, there's bad teams that you can just go out there, walk all over, and once you get into the playoffs, everyone's locked in, dialed in, everything they can do. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk with Gabe Neitzel coming up next, who sometimes helps out on the Bucks Radio Network. So don't go anywhere. We're going to get you ready for Bucks versus Pacers today. Tip off at 12, and we're taking you up to coverage at 11:30. This is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
April 2005. Green Bay's gunslinger Brett Favre continues to perform, but the threat of retirement has general manager Ted Thompson thinking about the future. That's when Green Bay made their dream pick.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of California.
Once taking over as the starter, Rodgers' career would blossom. 147 wins, 475 touchdown passes, 4 MVPs, and 1 championship. Aaron Rodgers is on his way to a gold jacket.
Over the middle, caught, touchdown. The Lombardi Trophy is coming home.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Dear Brewers fans, where do you find the best views and the most electrifying baseball action American Family Field has to offer? The answer is Toyota Territory, located in right field. This Grand Slam experience covers all the bases and gives fans in the stands an exclusive live look at our home run hitter, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Creating a lasting legacy, the Toyota Land Cruiser is seasoned to perform like your Milwaukee Brewers. Add Toyota to your lineup today. Now batting, Toyota.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in-store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why less is more with Carbliss.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always, always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Outdoor Living Unlimited's showroom on Stoughton Road is absolutely a must-see. Nobody builds a better backyard better than Outdoor Living Unlimited. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, fire pit, and in-ground pool. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in building the new deck. Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. Looking for a backyard hardscape design? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing Madison showroom. Siding Unlimited is hosting their annual open house today from 9 to 1 p.m. or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
Probably really smart, actually, because I write such long.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart. I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The Bucks postseason starts in just a little under an hour. So, Alex Gravatt, Jesse Nelson, this is Saturday Scramble. We are joined now by Gabe Neitzel, who you hear on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in Milwaukee. He fills in on the national broadcasts across the country, and throughout the season, he's been a part of the Milwaukee Bucks radio network. Gabe, how you doing?
I'm doing great, boys. How you doing this morning?
Fired up for some Milwaukee Bucks basketball is what we are.
As you should be. It's an exciting series, man. You know, you got a little bit of a rivalry dating back to last year and everything that happened with the Giannis fall into the playoff series, and now Giannis is healthy. It's going to be a fun series.
It should be. And, you know, I'm glad you brought up the rivalry that has kind of began, because I feel like for the longest time the Bucks didn't have like a true rival that you were fired up to go out and play against or beat. What is the feeling you get about these two teams? And I mean, obviously it started long ago, but where is the heat, and is it still truly there this year?
I mean, I think it still is. I mean, in terms of having true rivals, I think that's really an NBA issue as much player movement as there is. A lot of guys don't stick around for a long time, so you don't see the, kind of the rivalries that I think you see in baseball, that you see in football. And, Tyrese Halliburton's talked about kind of the rivalry and how these two teams don't really like each other. And, the Bucks want a little bit of revenge for the way the season ended last year. So these are two teams that definitely don't like each other, and I'm curious to see, the longer the series goes, how chippy it's going to get.
We've got the pregame show on ESPN on in the TVs here in the Everlight Solar Studio right now. Gabe, and just moments ago, Shams Charania joined them and said that Damian Lillard expects to return in either Game 2 or Game 3 of this series, which is just amazing news given that blood clot and all the developments that we've heard about it over the last few weeks. Does that change your outlook on how the Bucks fare against the Pacers in this series?
I don't think it changes how I think. I mean, look, they won 3 out of the 4 games against the Pacers this year, and I know Dame played all 4 of those games. But I think with Giannis, they just don't have anybody who can match up against Giannis. And this team is the best three-point shooting team in the NBA in terms of percentage. So that's exactly what you want to surround Giannis with, guys that can shoot like, Gary Trent Jr., like Taurean Prince, that can spot up and knock down those threes. Even without Dame, I felt good about the Bucks beating the Pacers. Now getting, past that and going up against a team like Cleveland and potentially Boston, like they would need Damian Lillard for that. So the fact that he's actually able to return, and they're eyeing either Tuesday or Friday, and I'm kind of hoping for Friday personally. Maybe the Bucks knock off one of these first 2 games, and then you hear Eric Jensen inside Fiserv Forum announce the guy wearing the letter O, what time is it? And then everybody just yells Dame time and blows the roof off Fiserv Forum for the excitement of Lillard returning. So I think there's a lot of fun things that can happen if he does indeed make his return on the first game of the series at home for the Bucks on Friday.
I mean, it feels to me like for years this Bucks team has been cursed. Like maybe they signed their soul away to win that NBA championship because it's just been injuries and bad things happening at all times since then. But if Dame is getting healthy and can play, and Giannis is healthy at the time, what is the ceiling, and is the momentum feeling like this team could push past the second round and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think you could. I mean, because the fact that they're in the 4-5 game and then would have to match up against Cleveland. I know they didn't play well against Cleveland during the regular season, but, throughout the course of a series, having Dame and Giannis both playing, I mean, this is the healthiest the Bucks have been going into a playoff since probably they won the championship, maybe even the year after that. I know they dealt with some injuries when they went to the second round in 2022, but I mean, once Dame comes back, this team is pretty healthy. And having 2 generational superstars like that, guys who made the All-75 NBA team, and Dame and Giannis, like that's going to be tough for anybody in the half court. And this team's been playing really good defense. Getting Jericho Sims back is I think, a big piece. They can kind of match up with however teams want to play. If they want to go big, if they want to go small, they've got a lot of versatile pieces. Now, they're still going to have a guy like Kyle Kuzma continue to shoot the ball the way he has over the last 8 games, because, I mean, when you look back at his numbers when he was with Washington from distance, terrible. When he first showed up in Milwaukee, terrible. I'm talking under 30% terrible. But, I mean, he showed over the last, week and a half, 2 weeks that he can get hot and knock down threes. He's confident with his shot right now. But they're going to need someone like that to be knocking down shots. And it's probably going to have to rotate around. It's going to be matchup dependent. Who's going to be that third guy scoring next to Giannis and Dame? But they're going to have somebody step up like that if they do want to make a deep run and make an Eastern Conference final.
Talking with Gabe Neitzel, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Also, you hear him on ESPN Radio nationally, like we heard on Joe and Q yesterday afternoon here on ESPN Wisconsin. Also, you've heard him throughout the year on the Bucks Radio Network, filling in for Dave Kane, calling the play-by-play action. Gabe, we're here in Madison, and I think the vibe right now, the first-round series, even the last couple of years, it's kind of been like, okay, let's walk into this thing, and if the Bucks get some wins, then energy picks up around town. You're in downtown Milwaukee. What's the vibe there around the state of the Bucks as the playoffs get started here on a Saturday afternoon, Easter weekend?
I think that's kind of the same vibe here, and that's, again, the Bucks becoming victims of their own success and winning a championship back in 2021 and kind of struggling the way they have in the postseason the last 2 years. But I think, again, the return of Dame, I'm really curious to see, especially if they win one of these first 2 games, which I expect them to, what the vibe is going to be going in on Friday. Even though we're going to have the draft going up and on in Green Bay, I think that return of Dame is really going to create a buzz when they have that first game of the series back here on Friday. I think that that's going to start to build some momentum. And again, once they get up in that series, if they get up 2-1, 3-1, something like that, that's just going to build, I think, the enthusiasm for this team, because I think there are a lot of fans around the state that are going, okay, you've won that one championship. We still have Giannis. We want more. All right, let's get out of the first round. And then the excitement can start building for an actual playoff run, because it's been 2 years since they've been out of the first round.
Yeah, and Giannis is obviously like the key to that. He's the best player the Bucks maybe have ever had, Kareem being the only person who even comes close. And I struggle to sit here and think that a healthy Giannis can't single-handedly put the Bucks in a position to win, but should Dame come back, obviously that it's not a single-handed effort. But the Pacers have struggled specifically when opposing teams have big guys who can score a ton. And I went back and I looked, and in almost all of the Pacers' losses, teams shot over 50%, which the Bucks have been doing very well down the stretch here. They've allowed 18 or fewer fast break points, and a guy like Giannis on the other team, whoever it is, there's no one quite like Giannis, but their star scores 30 or more points. Now, the one thing that I think is going to be hard for the Bucks is those fast break points. And so a kind of an X's and O's question here. Do you think that the Bucks will be able to slow down that offensive power from the Pacers, or do you think that that's kind of the space that they'll struggle the most with?
I mean, that's something that Doc Rivers has talked about all year, where the Bucks have kind of struggled in transition. And honestly, so a big part of that, though, for me, Alex, is taking care of the basketball. I mean, think about a couple of weeks ago when they had the best single-game team field goal percentage in the last 27 years in the NBA. They were still sweating that game out against the Suns because they turned the ball over a ton of times. And this team is efficient enough offensively. They just have to take care of the ball. And that's when Dame returns, that's going to be a big part of it. Part of it is you don't really have a true backup point guard. Ryan Rollins, as good as he's been at times, still learning on the job on how to play that position at a high level at the NBA level. So taking care of the basketball is going to be a big part for the Bucks in terms of limiting those opportunities for the Pacers to get out and run, because that's one thing, for whatever reason, the Bucks have struggled this season. I'm curious if the intensity of that steps up just by naturally, being the playoffs. But, for me, it just comes down to, okay, how well do you take care of the basketball and how much do you limit your turnovers? Because if you do that, you play defense great, you're efficient offensively, you should be able to win this series in 6 games or less if you take care of the ball.
Last one for me, Gabe. By the way, very excited to hear him say that. And this guy close to the team all the time. I like that. Earlier this week on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, Chris Canty, they were playing a game in the morning where they were saying which teams in the NBA playoffs this year are in their last dance mode heading into the playoffs. And he not only said the Bucks were in their last dance phase, he said it's last call for the Bucks with Dame and Giannis and how the core has broken up from the finals win in 2021. Do you agree that this is the last call for this era of Bucks basketball to pursue a title?
I mean, maybe with Dame, I don't know. So this whole talk, I mean, it's the only way that anybody actually ever wants to talk about the Bucks is, okay, where's Giannis going to go next? And my problem with this is now twofold. Number one, everyone goes, well, he said a couple of years ago that he wants to be, wants to make sure that the team's competitive. And the Bucks have done a lot of things to make sure that they're competitive. And, some of it's been injuries the last couple of years. But Giannis also said more recently than he said that he's not going to ask out. And I'll tell you this, especially after the way things fell out in Dallas after Luka was traded. And now they're, the ownership basically throwing their general manager under the bus and Nico Harrison. Bucks ownership is not like Giannis is going. If Giannis is going to leave Milwaukee, he's going to have to ask out. That's just straight up. He's going to have to ask out. If he doesn't, if he kind of timidly goes, oh, maybe I don't want to be here, he's got to ask out because ownership isn't going to voluntarily go, yep, we're going to trade Giannis. They're not going to do that for a number of reasons. A, it makes the team less competitive. B, the Haslams didn't just buy into the Bucks to see their evaluation of the franchise go down, which is what would happen if they traded Giannis. So I don't see Giannis leaving Milwaukee after this year because he would have to, again, do some things that he said he doesn't want to do, like ask out, because that's the only way he's ever leaving Milwaukee, because ownership isn't going to just willfully trade him away the way that the Dallas Mavericks traded away. Especially, again, you watch and see how that played out in Dallas and how much fans revolted when a guy didn't ask out and we still traded him. That's not going to happen in Milwaukee. I just don't see that happening.
It would be devastating. Is somebody who just I'm not the most locked in, right? I don't watch every game, but Giannis is somebody who changed the way that I view basketball. And it would just be so heartbreaking to see him leave. And I don't think that there's anything, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, that the Bucks could ever get that could account for what Giannis is. That I don't think that there's any player that they could get, and there's no draft compensation that could get even close to what Giannis is to the team.
No, I mean, and we've seen this with, whether that was, because, technically when LeBron went to free agency all those years ago to Miami, technically it was a sign and trade so he could get as much money as he possibly could. And even with the Luka trade, Luka's made 5 straight All-NBA first teams before this year, and he's not going to because of the injuries, and he's not going to be qualified. But, you saw what they got in return. Anthony Davis, everyone is going, wait, that's all you got for Luka? And there's just no way you're going to be able to add up enough assets. And the hope is that you get enough draft picks that you can get lucky with someone and you can find a generational talent with one of those draft picks. But you're right. There's just if Giannis were to be traded, it's going to get ugly for a while until they happen to find their next superstar. And that's, again, why I think that ownership is not going to do it unless Giannis forces his way out. The Bucks aren't going to willingly just trade him away.
All right, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to throw Jesse Nelson under the bus just a little bit here.
What?
All right, excellent. I'm in.
He does not think it is fun to have an Easter egg hunt. And as Easter is this weekend, I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether or not Easter egg hunts are a worthwhile activity for the holiday.
It is if you're under 10 years old. Easter egg hunts are for kids, man. Easter egg hunts aren't for me. I'm a 39-year-old guy. I'm not going to my parents' house and participating in Easter egg hunts. No, that's for the kids.
But you don't have any nephews or cousins who might want to be a part of it that you get to...
Well, yeah. Again, I've got 3 nieces and a nephew, and if we do an Easter egg hunt tomorrow, they're going to love it. And it's going to be fantastic for them, and good for them. But I don't care about the Easter egg hunts. I'm not participating, and I shouldn't be participating because I am an adult.
I think whether you're coordinating, you're participating, no matter what your involvement is in the Easter egg hunt, you can't make everybody happy. And as we discussed this in our opening segment of the show today, just talking about all the different facets that go into the Easter egg hunt, I've decided I'm out on them. I'm just over it because the kids start crying if they can't find their egg fast enough, and then some want more of a challenge. They don't like what's in the eggs. It's just a hassle.
Oh, no. When I was a kid, I loved them because me and my cousins, everybody had an assigned color. So everybody was getting the same thing. Everybody was getting the same candy. And then there would be the one money egg that had $5 in it from grandma. So, that was always fun. And again, eventually you work your way out of it. But, it's fine for kids, Jesse. You don't have to cancel it for the kids.
I'm saying
what do you want? You not want to wrap presents at Christmas either? What are we talking about?
No,
he doesn't do anything for
we should
Halloween.
Take away presents we should take away presents at Christmas. Kids should not have cake on their birthday. What else do you want to take away from kids?
Parades. No more
time?
parades.
Oh, parades suck. I hate parades.
All right. Well, Gabe, do you have anything else for us on the Bucks or what we should expect to see today?
No, I'm excited, man. This is, going into postseason with Giannis healthy, where Giannis gets to be the best player in a series, and that's what he's going to be the entire time the Bucks are alive in the playoffs. I am pumped that everybody else should be excited as well, as it tips off in about 20 minutes.
I'm excited too.
40 minutes.
It's palpable. The environment is. Maybe it's just me, but it's palpable here in Madison. I'm sure.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, thanks so much for your time, Gabe, and have a great day. Go Bucks.
Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6 indeed. Bucks defense, I was looking at the stats, making me a little nervous, and we'll talk about that a little bit more next. It is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Wisconsin.
What's up, Wisconsin fans? Enjoying the game should always be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. Make your Easter celebration one to remember. Spring into this holiday season at Buck & Honey's. Their award-winning restaurant offering seasonal dishes, handcrafted cocktails, and exceptional service. As you gather with loved ones this spring, don't forget to plan ahead for Mother's Day. Treat mom to an unforgettable meal in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Celebrate great food and great company this Easter and Mother's Day. Make your reservation today at their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. We'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
The GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons at the GRB Baseball Academy are available year-round. With over 300 college players and over 150 Division I players, GRB has consistently led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit their website, grbacademy.com, for more information. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Madison athletes seeking elite training need to get started today at Total Athlete Performance. TAP is here to serve and educate the serious athlete with their speed, agility, and semi-private training options. Sessions are now available in both Windsor and their TAP facility inside the Verona Athletic Center. Also access remote training anytime, anywhere with the Total Athlete Performance app. Visit tapwisconsin.com for subscriptions, including monthly payment options. That's tapwisconsin.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Bucks take on the Pacers coming up next year on ESPN Madison. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Jesse Nelson. This is Saturday Scramble. The Bucks 6.5-point underdogs, Jesse.
Man, if they can steal game 1 here this afternoon, catch Indiana sleeping at home, you get Dame back then for game 3. You could rest them on Tuesday. Come back 1-1 for game 3 in Milwaukee next Friday. Let's get it. Today's a big game for the Bucks.
Big game for Giannis, and then a great big game for Dame despite not playing because he could get an extra day of rest coming back from deep vein thrombosis. The Bucks tip off at 12. We're going to have pre-game coverage starting here in just a couple minutes, and it's been a great show, Jesse. Thanks for filling in.
Thanks for having me. Happy Easter. Good luck with the egg hunts, everybody.
Best of luck with your egg hunts. This has been the Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across